Welcome to the community of people seeking for true knowledge and wisdom. Welcome to Professor App. We can travel the world with various occasions and feel empty, as if we didn't experience much, just as we can have transforming journeys with many spiritual and cultural experiences that can last for a lifetime. If we travel in the search of wisdom and spiritual experiences, the most important cities of the world will be a revelation and an enriching way to make our own lives full with meaning and fulfillment. One of the oldest spiritual centers of Europe was located where we now find modern Bologna, in Emilia-Romagna region of beautiful Italy. Bologna was founded by Etruscan ancestors coming from Middle Asia Mediterranean shores. The Etruscans were travelers that settled in Italy between 900 and 700 BC, bringing along the memory of the lost paradise, the amazing Sumerian civilization, building beautiful cities in their small kingdoms spread on the western side of the Italian peninsula. The central city they founded, on the lands where modern Bologna stands today, was called Felsina. Felsina was famous for its beauty and riches, so it was conquered by the Celts during the 5th century BC, receiving the name Bona. And once the Roman Empire expanded under the Latins' reign, it became a Roman city, receiving a new name, Bononia, that is still in use today with a small consonant change to contemporary Italian Bologna. The Roman ruins are still visible in some parts of the modern city, so you should see some of the remaining walls and gates of the city on your way to some of the best places to visit in Bologna. During the last 2000 years, Bologna went from Roman rulers to Byzantine rulers, and from French to Habsburg kings and emperors. Being a jewel of art, architecture, culture and spirituality, with its rich palaces, great churches, renowned saints and amazing teachers and scientists, it was desired by many and conquered many times for this reason. Gladly, its temporary rulers didn't destroy much of the city's beauty, but added more constructions that contributed to the variety of palaces and gardens of Bologna. If you wish to connect to the true Bologna, the first stop you should take is the oldest sanctuary of the old city, the mystery spring of the great Mother Goddess Isis sanctuary, located under the St. Stephen's Sette Chiese complex. The 7 connected churches bear a one-of-a-kind witness of the layers of spirituality from different times and religions, serving the same spiritual origin of the universe. Santo Stefano Market, with the ancient complex, is 10 minutes away from the Piazza Maggiore city center. Following the timeline of history, Bologna became the biggest city in Europe by the time the Alma Mater University was founded in 1088. The first university in Europe. From all the great universities' palaces, one should visit the university library halls located in the Piazza Maggiore near the Archaeological Museum that shows the impressive art and culture of the Bolognian inheritance. They are both open and almost every day you can see them, as you have a free access in the inner courtyards. Once a beautiful inner tree garden like most of Bologna's palaces. Around the time of the fall of the Byzantine Empire, when Constantinople was conquered by the Ottoman Empire in 1453, Bologna received an important sacred item that was considered as coming from the age of Jesus Christ, a special icon with Mother Mary, thought to have been painted by Saint Luke himself. The arrival of such an important artifact and spiritual treasure to Bologna has transformed the city into one of the most important pilgrimage destinations for more than 1,000 years. The icon is kept in the sanctuary of St. Luke, where Madonna di San Luca, the destination of the old medieval pilgrimage road via Zaragoza, takes the spiritual travelers from the city center of Bologna to the hill of the old monastic complex, through 666 beautiful porticos created as a medieval initiation path where the fatidic arcade 666 opens the stairs of the sanctuary as a spiritual threshold. The miracle walking icon of San Luca can be visited today up to 7 p.m. almost every day of the year. If you have time and wish to make the medieval pilgrimage portical path of Via Zaragoza, this will require a 4 to 5 hours walk from the city center and back, or you can use the San Luca Express train from Piazza Maggiore and arrive there in only 40 minutes. Bologna is one of the few cities in the world that flourished once their university was founded, as great minds of great teachers have built a both economically and spiritually great functional society. So the bodies of the greatest teachers of Bologna are still kept in special funerary monuments near the central cathedrals, as saintsmen or kings for other nations. No matter who were the new rulers of Bologna, its teachers and saints were cherished by Bolognans over the centuries. But Bologna had more saints and sanctified protectors in the centuries that followed, as the city's most beloved protector, the saint, La Santa, the helper and healer, the advisor and protector Saint Catherine of Bologna. Only 50 minutes away from the city center, the strange-looking mummified body of La Santa awaits for the Bolognese people to offer them counsel and protection up to today, from the second half of the 15th century. The body of La Santa is located at Corpus Domini convent that you can easily find with the treble GPS feature of Professor app. Out of the many places to visit in Bologna, the clock tower in Piazza Maggiore will offer you a perspective of the old city center that was surrounded with hundreds of towers, because each rich family in Bologna has built its own tower, out of which only a few still stand today. From the clock tower, as from the Via Zaragoza upper portical arcades, you can see the remaining towers of the once amazing medieval and Renaissance city. The towers of Bologna are not only an architectural achievement, but the embodiment of an old important reminder of the hierarchies of evolution. On top of each tower, the connection with God reminded people that they were mortal and ephemeral. And at the bottom of the towers, there were the poor people, walking on muddy paths, poorly dressed, often hungry, and dirty as an image of the city's hell. The towers symbolize the evolution one can achieve by art, prayer and culture, the alma mater university and the moral spiritual development. Near the clock tower, in the Piazza Maggiore, the Palazzo d'Arcusio is worth visiting as a time travel to the city's palaces and riches. The birth of the European art and culture stand in Bologna, years before the rise of the Renaissance in Florence, as Bologna was once the biggest city in Europe, bigger than Paris or London. The most important art pieces in Bologna are displayed in Pinacoteca of Bologna, about 15 minutes from Piazza Maggiore, and in some private art collections of the various museum palaces. From all palaces, we recommend the Free Museum of Bavia Barcellini Palace, with both beautiful sacred and laic art pieces, located about 15 minutes from the city center. Palazzo Poggi is an interesting travel to the alchemic and strange science experiments before modern medicine appeared. Mummies were being opened here to reveal the Egyptian mystery of body embalmment. Genetic mutations were studied and at times forced in strange experiments, the origins of science had a meeting point to the old magical traditions with the modern science reason in Palazzo Poggi. Palazzo Poggi is also 15 minutes away from the city center. Palazzo Peppoli, a restored palace holding the History Museum of Bologna, is worth visiting in order to understand the evolution from Felsina to Bologna and later Bologna of today. Close to the city center, it will take you on a path from Piazza Maggiore to the luxury shopping area of Galleria Cavour and the Basilica and Monastery of San Domenico that you can visit on your way to the Peppoli Museum. The monastery has works of Michelangelo, adding one more jewel to the spiritual inheritance of the city. The many porticos we see today in Bologna are an expression of the wise men of old Bologna that desired their students and citizens to live in a perfect city, away from the heats of summer. Don't forget that the older clothing rules of the over-average society had more layers over the body, so that naked skin was almost never exposed, but for the hands and necks, and also away from rain and snow during snowy winters. You can walk the entire old city center only under the old and new porticos, as a friendly reminder of the times Bologna was built for its citizens. While walking under the arcades of the porticos and seeing the thousands of stores and small churches and chapels between the high buildings, you should picture that the beggars and poor were not allowed to walk under the porticos, but in the mud on the side, as it was thought that they did not study, they did not develop, they did not ascend to a higher social status through the noble arts of education and culture. Piazza Maggiore, the city's center, shows the great unfinished cathedral of San Petronius, the city's protector. Continued, in a different age with different styles and tools, the walls of the cathedral appear strange to the modern traveler. The cathedral was built during 1390s and 1479 and is open for tourists every day. As a monument of the embracement between spirituality and culture, Bologna's art bears witness to the transformation of ages and religions, holding on the same ideals of development, of beauty, and of the reminder of what spiritual evolution can achieve from saints, wise men, great teachers, and modern scientists such as Luigi Galvani, that discovered the electricity of the human brain, or the inventor of modern radio, Guglielmo Marconi. All locations indicated here can be easily accessible with the GPS tool from Professor App.